Hello. Good afternoon out there, everybody who is tuned into Ɔdadeɛ Radio this Thursday afternoon, where we, on a education standpoint, we are talking about admissions and placement of students into senior high, technical, vocational schools, and also tertiary institutions. And we are happy that this afternoon, wherever you are tuned into us. And I'm your regular host, Reverend Emmanuel Ambrose Asamoah, an Ɔdadeɛ, and also a former teacher. This afternoon, we are also expecting my co-hosts, Mr. Tei Agbemo, also to be in the studios very, very soon. But this afternoon, we want to look at this very interesting and let me put it this way, a very, very current subject matter that has to do with admissions. Our students at the JHS level have completed their exams, and at this time we expect that the exams council is also very busy trying to get their papers in readiness and getting them marks. Students will get their results very soon, and before they get their results, I think we get to know that they are in the process of selecting their choices, places of school and programs. Wherever they are, we wish them all the best. We wish Exams Council also the best. And also, we know that our secondary school students also, the secondary level students also finished their exams very recently, and the Exams Council is dealing with their papers. They will also be looking out for ways of getting admitted into the tertiary institutions, and it's very important for us to discuss issues concerning them. And this is why this afternoon we have people who are well versed in the subject matter. And we have in the studio Ɔdadeɛ Eric Otu Amankwa, who is with us. He's with the SHS Secretariat at the Ministry of Education, the people who matter in this subject matter. Then we also have from Presbyterian Boys Secondary School, a teacher and housemaster, Mr. Raymond Kofi Amankwa, who has also been helping students to get to know their way around when it comes to admission issues, not only at the SS level, but also at the JHS level, helping the students to get into tertiary institutions as well. And that's why we have him here in the studios. Gentlemen, you are very welcome to Ɔdadeɛ Radio.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Reverend.
Thank you very, very much too. And I have over there, I'm sure that you're on Ɔdadeɛ Radio on Facebook with us, or Ɔdadeɛ Radio Ghana, and you are linked up also with us also at Ɔdadeɛ Radio on Instagram, probably also on Twitter, and they say Twitter. That's how the Americans say it, Twitter. At Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Our WhatsApp numbers are, our WhatsApp number is 02000929925. 02000929925. Wherever you are, get ready to send in your comments and your questions. Don't forget, we also have a studio phone, where you can also send in your text messages. At the appropriate time, we will ask you to call in. It is 0302 551 014. 0302 551-014. Wherever you are, just grab and drop into your phone or your whatever gadget you have and listen to Ɔdadeɛ Radio online. And then you can get us on Zeno FM app and also download it either from the Google Play Store or from the App Store. You can get us definitely wherever you are, anytime. And we know that people are listening to us from all across the globe. So some are in darkness, others are in the day. Some are in the morning, others are in the evening. But we thank God also for our executive producers, Johnny Adofening, also known as Dozonda, that's Ɔdadeɛ Zonda. And then we also have Ɔdadeɛ Edifico at the other side of the big river. Our technical producer for this afternoon is Joseph Otu, also known as DJ Use, who is handling all our technical solutions here this afternoon. Welcome, listeners, wherever you are again. And we want to ask our specialists, let me use the word specialists because they are well versed in the subject of admissions. And I want to start with Ɔdadeɛ Eric Otu. Admissions. What about admissions and placements?
Okay, thank you very much, Reverend, for your question. Before I answer, I want to say good afternoon to all Ɔdadeɛs listening, Ɔdadeɛ acquaintances, Ɔdadeɛ wives, Ɔdadeɛ husbands, Ɔdadeɛ parents.
Very important.
And I want to say congratulations to our boys for bringing us the much coveted 7th trophy. We are in this 7-11 God.
That's right.
That was just by way of introduction.
And a big amen to that.
Amen. All right. So admissions. Why is admissions important? We have an education system that shows transition from KG all the way through to university. So once the students are done with their first cycle, public education or private education, what we need to do, we need to transition them into senior high school. So that is where we come in. We at the Ministry of Education through the CSSPS come in. What we do is that we provide models that they follow in selecting their schools, and through that they will get the opportunity to be educated in senior high school. So that is essentially why it's important for us to do admissions. So we have a process which we use. Every year we look at the challenges we faced the year before and we update. That's why it's important that every year we go on this sensitization drive to explain to parents what it entails, how you select your school, some of the best practices of selecting the schools, what you must not do, and then that way you can be sure that your ward will get his or her preferred choice, of course by merit. All right.
Thank you very, very much. And so what is the procedure for selection and placement of candidates this particular year, since we keep changing our methods every time? And I think that is growth anyway. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So for this year, what we've done is we've made some updates. First of all, we've introduced what we call the cluster of schools. Okay. So cluster of schools, basically a group of schools that belong to the same category, which candidates may comfortably accept as an alternative should they miss out on their initial choices. Let me take my time and break that down.
Yeah, very important.
All right. So, for example, you select PRESEC, Percy Boy Senior High, which is a Category A school. What the cluster, should you opt for the cluster option? What it means is that should I miss out on PRESEC, other schools with the same strength in that category, I wouldn't mind attending those schools. So, PRESEC, for example, has been clustered with the likes of Achimota School, Tema Senior High, St. Thomas Aquinas, St. Peter's Senior High, St. Mary Senior High, Abigail Senior High. So what the child is opting for here is that, should I miss out on PRESEC, I would like to go and compete in St. Thomas Aquinas. I would like to go and compete in Achimota. Of course, because the ward is a male, every girls and St. Mary's and Accra girls will not apply to him.
That's right.
But then what we are trying to do is that we want to, over the years, the complaints that we had was that someone missed out on their first choice. But because of the competition, the person will just be moved to the third or fourth or fifth choice.
Exactly.
Yes, and there were complaints that, oh, if why didn't I get my second? Why didn't I get my third? We want to try and curb that. We want to try and solve that issue. So by opting for the cluster, what we are trying to say is that based on merit, when I miss out on PRESEC, I want to be able to enter Aquinas and go and compete in there to see whether I will find a spot in Aquinas. Should I miss out on Aquinas, I want to be able to go and enter Achimota to see whether I can compete in Achimota to see if I will get a spot in there. We believe that this will reduce the number of good performing students who get displaced and not get their preferred choices. What this also means is that when you opt for the cluster, any of the schools in the cluster can be given to you. So we don't want we are trying to advise the parents to understand that yes, your first choice may have been PSEC, and you opted for the cluster. The fact that you may not have gotten PSEC does not mean you need to come back to us and say, I really want PSEC. If you want PSEC and you don't want to opt for the cluster, you select no. That means after PSEC, I don't want to go and compete in any other school. I want to stay in PSEC. Should I miss out on PSEC, move me to my second choice school, or my third, or my fourth. Yes, so that is the cluster bits that we've brought in.
Okay.
There are other updates. I don't know if you would like me to.
Yeah, go ahead.
touch on.
Go ahead. That's why we are here.
So last year, you recall when I came here, I mentioned we've introduced Tvet.
Tvet,
Yes.
exactly. Yes.
Last year, the Tvet schools were about 139, but this year we moved them to. We've added a few more schools to it, so there are about 212 Tvet institutions.
Wow.
Yes.
That is great.
That's great. Yes. Some of which are day, some of which are boarding. So, and they are scattered across all 16 regions in the country. So, depending on your preference and your choice, you can opt for the Tvet option. Later on, I'm sure you give me the opportunity to delve into
the
what
details.
the Tvet means. Yes.
Yes.
We've also included 5 STEM schools.
Okay.
Yes.
And there are 5 STEM schools.
Exactly. We've
Okay.
included 5 STEM schools. STEM here means science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Yes.
Yeah.
We've also included 5 STEM schools. And just like last year, we also have for the category D option, which is the compulsory day option, we have some 120 community schools that have boarding status. So you can opt for that instead of opting for a purely day in your final choice. This is just by way of update. Now the selection proper.
Yeah.
Yes,
The mode proper.
Yes, the selection proper. So as a candidate, you must choose 6 choices. That's from the first to the 6th choice in all. 6 choices.
6 in all.
In all.
Okay.
From choice 1 to first choice, second choice, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And for each choice, you must select program and accommodation. So, for example, I want to attend Prairie Boy Senior High School. I want to come in as a day student. I want to read science. So, for each choice, you must do the same. So, your second choice could be Laboni. I want to attend Laboni. I want to be there as a board. I want to read general arts. So for each choice, you must necessarily select your program and accommodation. Now the third thing,
Very important.
you must choose a compulsory day as your 6th choice.
It's a must.
It's a must. You must choose a compulsory day as your 6th choice. The compulsory day here is what we call the catchment area school.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, catchment area school. And over here, what we are saying is that we've added the option of opting for a boarding school from a list of 120 schools, which over the years have recorded low subscription.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
I
some
see.
parents just want to be in a boarding house.
In the boarding house, definitely, yeah.
So we want to also give them that option that when you get your 6th choice, instead of selecting a compulsory day school, you can go in and select a boarding school from the pool of 120
schools.
as a boarder.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and you must indicate yes or no to accept or decline to opt for a cluster for the choices. So like I mentioned, when you make your choice, Prairie Boy Senior High School, first choice, you are asked, do you want cluster, yes or no? If you say yes, it means you want to go and compete among schools in that cluster.
Within the group.
Within the group.
Okay.
If you say no, it means, should you miss out on PSEC, move me to my 2nd choice.
Straight away.
Exactly. So you must.
That means you are out of the main schools around that have been clustered.
Clustered, exactly. So
Okay.
we will stick to your choices per se.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yes. Yes.
That's
So
very interesting.
yes. So you must indicate. We don't want to impose classroom on you. We think classroom will solve the issue of the good performing students being displaced.
That's right.
However, we want it to be at your disposal and at your
choice.
Your choice. So if you feel you want your ward, or you the student feels you will be able to compete in the cluster, opt for it. Yes. However, should you leave it blank, the default is yes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So should you fail to opt
To
for
opt-
yes or no,
Oh, no.
the default, is yes,
is yes.
because we believe it would help you.
Yeah, of course. That's why you clustered them
Yes,
together.
we believe it will help you. I forgot to add one more thing. The cluster is based on geographical location as well.
Oh, I see.
So first of all, it's clustered according to categories. So A schools have been clustered, B schools have been clustered, C schools have been clustered.
I see.
Now amongst the A cluster, we try to make sure that the schools are geographically located at the same place. However, we have instances where you may have Ebri girls, which is in the Eastern region, in the same cluster with Achimota School. That is because, looking at the category A schools in and around Achimota, Ebri girls is one of them.
Oh, okay.
And it's close to drive from Accra to Ebri.
That's right. Yes, it's true.
So you don't see Ebri girls in the same cluster as St. Lucy's.
Because it's further
it's
out.
further, or at Wesley Girls.
Oh, okay.
But you will find Wesley Girls with Holy Child, with Infantine, with
okay.
Yeah.
And the schools, the A, or let me use the A schools as we used to call them. I don't know whether we still
overly subscribed schools.
Overly subscribed schools. I think that's better for modern language. Yes. The overly subscribed schools are clustered in certain places, and if you are not getting from the main group that you have, for example, if you move out of Accra, we have a lot of cluster schools also in Cape Coast and then surrounding areas. The next batch will be in Ashanti region. Beyond Ashanti region, we have, I think, Tamale also. Yes, where we have heavily subscribed schools. Now, beyond these places, can somebody also decide that I want to go to Maoli, which is outside the main large group areas?
Okay, all right. So the clustering is after the selection. So when you select first choice Maoli, then you opt for the cluster. Okay. Maoli has a cluster.
All right.
Mauli's cluster is with Bishop Herman Senior High School. It's with Kita Senior High Technical School, which is the Kita School.
Okay.
So nothing has changed this year. The only thing is that do your normal selection. However, for each choice, opt for a cluster or not. Yes. So you can still go to your Mauli, and should you opt for a cluster with Mauli, should you miss out on Mauli, you can now compete with Bishop Herman Senior High, St. Paul Senior High, all the other schools in Mauli's cluster.
Okay.
So nothing really has changed, just that we are giving you the option of getting a like-minded school should you miss out on your choice.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That makes it quite very interesting. Yes. And then let me ask Mr. Raymond Amankwa. You have been handling the students.
Yes, please.
When they come, what kind of problems do they have from the various places they come from, so far as program areas are concerned?
Thank you very much, Reverend. My special greetings to all students that have guided this year to apply to various universities. For now, all that you are waiting for is the result to be released. And based on the result that you have obtained, your program of choice shall be given to you. So we are very hopeful. Thank you very much for that question. Most of the students that have been admitted comes with various issues. Some of them want to do science programs.
Okay.
And maybe they have been given visual art, they have been given general art or business. Some even are given business and they want to move to visual art. It has not been an easy thing, and I'm hoping the parent will actually cancel their awards to know the exact program that they are coming to do. Some will also be given the admission all right, but they'll tell you they are not interested. They want to go somewhere else. Somebody may be given pre-sec, but he will say, I want to go to Adisada. And by the time you realize he's already gone. Some have health issues.
Okay.
And they wish they are made day student instead of boarding. So the school normally asks them to write letters to them, and they may become become day student. But most of the challenge has been those who do visual art and want to change, because it's good. My man is the idea is that when you take visual art, you will definitely get an admission. So they tend to worry a lot. Some of them don't even know what they want to do after the SHS program. So they become so confused, and they need to be. I think this thing should start from the basic school. So by the time they get to SHS, they'll know that if I'm doing history maybe government, geography, or elective maths, these are the programs that I can do at the university level. Currently, students who do history will never choose any history program at the university. They want to change.
I see.
So it seems some of them have been pushed to select some programs that they are not interested. Some will come and tell you the programs were chosen for them by their teachers, at the various schools. Some fail to go to do the selection, so the headmaster will just look at you and give you any program, or they'll tell you if you choose this program, you that is what you can do at pre-sec. These are some of the issues that we normally encounter with the student.
I think it's an old problem. Yeah, from time immemorial, some busy school teachers and they push the parents to make them choose certain subject areas or certain programs so that they will enter the schools of their choice. And we've spoken to them several. Maybe they have not been listening. They think that it's been easy. And once somebody has been through their family and gone through, they think that it can always go through for a student in the same manner. But what will you tell such teachers at the basic level, Mr. Mankwa? They are a big source of worry to the administration in the secondary schools. Yes, and we've tried to get a lot of them to understand what it means to get your child to get into a place. Sometimes the teachers look at the caliber of students they are handling at the busy school. They've handled them for 4, 5, 6 years. Maybe they've handled them from those days, of course, some teachers were teaching primary and teaching GHS. So they could get what a student is made of. And they think that at the final exams, getting into the PEC, and they are making their choice for schools, they should choose certain subject areas. Otherwise, they may not enter into the school of their choice. But it becomes a big problem for them. They get frustrated. They really get frustrated when the students get here. And the parents will be at home resting. Yeah. So I think we need to tell them something.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So like you rightfully said, they do that just so that they can get into the schools. What they fail to understand, or what they do not know, or they may not know, will be that these classes have their limits. So you enter with visual arts, wanting to go to the science class. The science class takes a maximum of
I think 60.
Say 60. There may be no desk for you.
That's right.
Now there are science lab equipment that will take care of the needs of these 60. Yeah. When you go and join, you may not have that access to the science facility. So we know that they get in just because they want to be able to, enter the school and change. We've had similar complaints over the years where because the competition for maybe visual arts may not be as keen as that of science, somebody who had 6 and knows can do science will choose visual arts and now come in and now be disturbing the management to change to science. Then the management will also push it back onto the secretariats and say that please put the child in science. For us, we also push it back to management and say, management, you handle at your level, because it doesn't affect budget. Okay. What affects budget is day boarding. Okay. So day boarding, yes, we will come in and approve, but then when it comes to that, it doesn't affect budget. But we entreat parents to make sure that they act in good faith and allow your child, because by that way you actually know the strength of your child.
Yes.
Not trying to beat the system always. Your child will come in. What if your child comes in, your child isn't able to offer the science? There's no space. It means you change the destiny of your child. That's maybe true. Your child could have been a good cardio surgeon, but going through another school. But you move right now. He's in visual arts and he doesn't have the skill set to be a visual student, because that's another talented area. You should have basic talent in arts to be able to function in the visual arts class. So you realize that child who may be struggling in the visual arts class, not because the child is a bad student, but the child it's not his field.
Interest is
yes. So we entreat parents to act in good faith and select. Also work with the heads of schools as well, and the teachers in the schools, because they will know the strength of your child, and to select the right thing and to go through the right processes of getting the right admission for your ward, and not to try to beat the bush. Another thing is that because of the 30% that has been reserved for public schools.
Okay.
Parents will take their wards through the private school. When it's time to register for BEC, they move the ward to the public school
To go and register.
to go and register.
That's true.
So you realize that parent is beating the system. But we are finding a way of we'll keep that next year. We'll keep that.
I see.
Yes,
I see.
we'll start tracking the students. We'll start giving. Okay, let me not jump the gun. But we are working on it.
I get you. I
Yes,
get you. I
we
get
are working
you.
on that.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
to
Yeah.
add to that, I think in selecting school program, the child interest should be paramount.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
Because some of the students are in some of the science classes, they are just there for their sake. You realize that the interest is not there. They keep on getting E8, F9, D7s in their elective subject, and because the interest is not there, they'll keep on failing. The parent to even let teachers organize extra classes for them, but still they will
Not
fail.
catching up.
So there should be proper counseling and discussion before the student finally select their choice of program. Then when they get to the SHS, they can continue with it smoothly and end up at the university with the right choices.
Okay. Thank you very, very much for adding that bit to it. It's very, very important. So parents and the basic school teachers, please let's know what is good for the child and put their interests in front of their school. Interest in terms of their subject areas. Yeah, it's very, very important. Can we have an overview of online selection? I think this time we do a lot of online work also. Yeah.
All right. So when the school selection is done at the school level, where they go and fill a hard copy form.
Forms. Okay.
What is done is that after the selection has been, after all the 6 choices have been done, we have exam officers in each circuit, in each district.
Okay.
Who will now enter it online.
Oh, they will do it.
They'll do it online.
Okay.
That's for the first run. That's for the first
run. Okay.
So after the results come in, then you miss out on all your choices. We have what we call the self-placement.
Okay.
So that's when students who miss out on all their 6 choices will go online onto the self-placement portal.
Okay.
And now select schools which have been made available based on region and program and accommodation. Yes. Then we also have another online selection for private candidates.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Who are private candidates? They are candidates who, over the years, for one reason or the other, could not go to school. So they have taken the paper again, been given special index numbers.
I see.
And they have to go on a portal called www.wayekinternetsolution.org.
Wow.
www.wayekinternetsolution.org.
I see.
I'll take that again.
Okay.
www.wayekinternetsolution.org to go and select their choices. So they'll still have the opportunity to select the 6 choices that I've earlier mentioned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the date for the selection for them will be announced soon. It's not yet.
It's not yet their time.
Yes.
Okay.
Then
Well,
we
of
also
course.
have that for the foreign students. They will also have to go and select online. I will share the link in due course. We are still working on that link. So that's online before the senior high school. I know the tertiary too have their own selection process.
I see. That's very important. Yeah. What about the tertiary level 2, Mr. Raymond?
Yeah. Thank you very much. For the tertiary, the universities sell vouchers, so you can get it at the banks, at the post office, and you can even use Momo to purchase it. So after getting the forms, you have to go online and fill in your biodata. That is the student biodata, the name, the date of birth, male or female. Then you moved on to how do you call it? Let me take it for University of Ghana, the mode of application. That is whether you are going in as WASI awaiting student, WASI existing student, or you have NOVDEC and other result, but you are still going to write, or you still wrote this year.
Okay.
Then the next one is about the educational background, where you talk about the school you attended, the index number, which is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Then from
your previous index number.
Yeah, your previous index
Okay.
number. Any error that
Okay.
you commit on your index number, you will never get an admission unless you apply next year.
Hey, that's serious.
Yes. You cannot, it's not negotiable.
Why is it so?
Yes,
If you are making room for students who couldn't make it at the appropriate time and they are trying to catch up, why do you make it very difficult for them? It's like digging a pit at a galamsey point for them. When they fall inside, they are gone.
well, thank you very much. You see, the universities now go to WAEC for verification.
Yes.
Yeah, so if you input any wrong index number, when they go to WAEC, they will not get your index number. It means that you will not get an admission, or the numbers that you place over there is for someone, which may be used as impersonation. So they will not even pick your result at all. They will not pick your result. Then you move on to how do you call it, your programs of choice. Then you upload your passport picture, and that ends it for University of Ghana. Some of the universities, after filling the online, you have to post a hard copy along like KNUST, UMAT, UHAS, UDS, and some other schools. The moment you are done, you have to you have to post a hard copy to them. Some of the schools don't also take awaiting student. For UMAT example, UMAT, UHAS, RMU, you fill the first part and you have to wait. When the result is released, you have to go into the system again and complete the online and submit. By then you would have seen your result and you know your smoothness level, so that you choose the appropriate program
for yourself,
and you wait for your admission.
Okay, interesting. So why has there been all this kind of change of late? Because in the past we just bought the forms, filled them, and then we just send them to the schools. Why all these changes?
Well, I think now we are moving forward, digitalization, and everything is being done online. But there's still some schools that do these hard copies, like GIMPA. You fill the form. They have a problem with their online system. So
I see.
You have to fill a hard copy and send it to them. GTUC, that's Ghana Telecom. They also have that challenge. So you have to fill a hard copy and send to them. And I've been told the schools that take hard copy, you see, anything can happen to your server or the system. So once they cannot reach it, it means that they have to use the hard copies to do the admission. That is why it's very important. After the online application, you have to get a proof of application. If you walk to the University of Ghana admission office now, that you want to check whether you have applied, the first thing to ask you is, where is your proof of application? Once you are not able to produce it, or it can be soft copy or hard copy, which you have to take as
carry along.
Carry along. So anytime that you have to produce it, then you give it to them.
I see.
But I want to ask my colleague, since he's here, about this self-placement. It's still online.
Yes.
And sometimes they open the portal and they say you should do self-placement.
Yeah.
Maybe you can
go. That is after the main first round of.
After the first main.
Placement.
Yes. Maybe 4:10 p.m. You go there, you see Nkonya Secondary, Avedagba Secondary, Mali School. By 4:15, if you log in again, you will not get all those schools. And the challenge is that most of the students want some schools.
Yes.
And the schools that you've seen, that you want to think about it before choosing. By the time you realize, you will not.
By the time you finish thinking about it and you come back,
the schools are no more.
It's no more. The schools
are no more in the portal.
Wow.
I want to find out whether they do something like a data. They have a data to know that this particular student are going to choose these schools, and everybody should be saved, because after everything, some still don't get school because you go to the portal, some they become empty. You cannot even get any school on the portal to pick.
Okay, all right. Thank you for your question. So the self-placement portal has schools that have available vacancies on there. at every point in time.
Okay.
And depending on your grade, the schools you see may be different from that of your colleague. Because the self-placement portal is still the same placement process. It's still based on merit. However, go in there based on your grade and select a school of your choice.
Okay.
So you may see in Konya Senior High. What you may not know is that Konya has just 10 spaces. Yes. So when you log out, you're going to think about it. Somebody comes.
The 10 people come and they fill in.
And normally when the students move, they move together.
Yeah, it's true.
So
they
when
move
it goes
in
to the cafe,
clusters.
they move in clusters.
And
so
work in groups.
You all want us, okay, let's
all go to
Konya. So by the time you go and come back, they've selected for themselves.
Wow.
You understand? Okay. Also, what happens is that when that is done, we realize that maybe there may still be some good grades who may not have been placed. So that's why we try to use a cluster one to solve. However, as the placement is ongoing, we negotiate with schools to expand their vacancies. So a school can tell you that we have a classroom block that is near completion. It's actually completed, but there are no furniture.
Okay.
If you bring us furniture, we can take an extra 100. So you realize that later on, a school that you may not see will now come and appear.
All right.
Yes. So yes, we work with data, and we work with the demand and supply. So if there's a lot of students requesting for maybe a particular school and the grades are good and the school in question has space on the ground, yes, maybe the time we were running the system, the building was not complete. Presec had the same thing some 2 years ago, where later on we moved a lot of students into the boarding house because one of the boarding a dormitory was completed. I'm sure you recall something like that. Yes, but then when the initial placement was done, most of those students were day students. But after placement was done, then the boarding came. Then we now had to convert them to boarding. So it's a speed game. It's a speed game, but first it's based on merit.
Yes.
So what aggregate 10 will see will be different from what aggregate 25 will see. Because at the end of the day, it should be down to merit. We need to reward the good performing students.
Okay. Okay. That is very, very good explanation. Yeah. Very, very important. Because as we say, we come there once, you go back and come, and then you can't find the thing anymore. And it becomes a problem for all of us, for the candidates, for the parents, for the teachers, that is the former teachers or the students. And it's good that we have this kind of explanation. Yes. And then let me ask this question. We've had students coming into our systems through the various years. What are the statistics of students who have been again admitting into the secondary schools and then the Tvet? I think last year we were dealing with changing over kind of thing into Tvet because it was becoming more popular. I mean, we're making more noise about Tvet. What are some of the statistics that are from those places? Okay,
all right. So first of all, I will talk about Tvet.
Okay.
Last year was when we officially began the Tvet drive.
Okay.
And I'm happy to say that we have some 47,000 plus students in about 181 schools now. And I think that is good. Looking at the total enrollment of 463,000, that is not too bad for the first time. This year we want to increase that by some 10-15 fold, 10%, 15% fold. So the Tvet service is actively working on that. I'm sure very soon we have the opportunity for the PRO to come and give you more.
Yes.
Now back to the substantive issue on the enrollment trends.
Okay.
So in 2019, I want to start with 2019 to 2021 if you do.
Okay.
Or you want me to give you for just 2020, 2021?
Well, I'm okay with the 3 years.
Okay. All right. So for 2019, a total number of 512,083 students registered for BEC.
I see.
Out of that number, 432,405 students were placed.
I see.
And out of that, 404,851 enrolled. Yes.
I see.
In 2020, 523,933 students registered for the BEC.
Mm-hmm.
Out of that, 480,413 were placed.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yes, and out of that, 425,395 enrolled.
I see.
Now, 2021, that's the placement that we did last year.
Last year.
Yes. We had a total number of 571,894 students registered for the BEC.
Wow.
The total number placed was 532,000.
92,000.
532,000.
32,038.
That's the total number placed.
Okay.
And total number enrolled was 463,453. 463,453.
453.
So if you look at the enrollment trend, enrollment has increased
Definitely.
over the years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What this is, and if you look at the number registering for the BEC, it means you're having a lot more students coming in. What this means is that as a secretariat, we need to position ourselves properly to accommodate all of these increases in enrollments in our schools.
Yes.
And that's also translating to the pressure on the existing infrastructure in the schools. That's why we are always talking about improving infrastructure.
Yes.
Trying to, yes. It's because we are giving birth more. Our population is increasing.
Yes, I was going to talk about that. Yes.
But we don't need to say because it's increasing, we will not let you access free secondary education. Come in and enjoy. Yeah, so
okay.
that's just by way of
I see.
Enrollment trends.
Enrollment. Interesting. What about the tertiary institutions? What do they look like?
Well, for tertiary institution, I can't give a figure because each university
have their own
admissions, their own intake. But I want to ask my colleagues maybe some question.
I know the question you're going to
ask. You said it's aware of my question. I'm here almost for the parent. The difference.
Okay.
If you look at the number of candidates who write the BC and the intake into senior high schools, the rest. Is there any way to find out where they end up? What program is there for them?
Okay, so if I want to repeat your question just so I understand. You said looking at the total number of registered students.
Yeah, 2021.
Yes, which was 571,894.
Yeah.
And those who were placed, which was 532,038.
Yes.
And out of that, those who enrolled. So that would be some 68,000 students were placed but did not enroll. We are asking what we are doing with them or what we are okay. So over the years, we have in their selection process, in their biodata information collect, you take contact numbers of the parents as well. Out of this number you see here, placed but not enrolled, some of them have traveled out of the country.
Okay.
Some of them have moved to the private institutions, the AISs, the Christian Methodists, and all of that.
That's true.
There are others who just are not willing to go to school. Some data from the likes of Trifo Praso, upper and lower Dentra, where Galamsey is very the students get admission
into it,
but they look at the money they're getting from Galamsey and decide that Galamsey is
don't go to school.
We will not go to school.
After all, we are going to school to look for jobs and get money.
We are going to school to look for jobs.
So if the money is here, why do we worry ourselves?
Yes. Hey. So with this, we are working closely with the district education officers and the district chief executives to rope them in. So every year with the placements, our regional coordinators break it down into districts and share that data with the district directors. Then we try and mop what we can mop up to get into the schools. But the main challenge is they are finding other sources of livelihood. So some parents too are just not concerned about.
Yeah, what happens to
some of them say their child should work on the farm with them. Then later on, so even I'm sure this figure they are in Form 1 now. Form 2, they will now come to us and come and see that now they are ready to go.
They are ready to go to school. Okay.
Yes, something may have happened here and there. Yes, so
yeah, some of them will do the late entry thing.
And that's another burden on the management of the school.
It's true.
Because maybe Mondays may have been sent for this set number. So how do I feed you now coming in?
It's true. It's true.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And when they come, are they taken in easily?
So not entirely. Your reason must be convincing. Some of them are on medical grounds.
I see.
But when you come in second semester, you will struggle because a lot of work has been done.
Yeah.
So at times, depending on the communication you have with the parents, they are able to understand that let me wait and let my child do re-entry or come again as a private student
at the beginning of
the next academic year. There are those who get frustrated and decide not to come at all and go and opt for the private schools. There are also some in private schools who after a year are now wanting to come to the
public schools.
We have so many of these issues overlapping both public and private schools.
Interesting. I see. Wow. The handling human beings is a very complex thing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
It's true.
You've laid the lines, you set the table, but somebody will come and tell, I don't eat this food. I don't eat that food. When I eat this one, I get gas. When I eat this one, I run. When I get this one, I cough. Yes.
My mother said I shouldn't eat.
Yes. In my family, we don't eat this kind of food.
Exactly.
The same thing we bring into admissions into schools. Yes,
Exactly.
it's true.
Exactly.
It's true.
But that's a good observation you made.
That's right.
That's why you're a teacher in Pacific.
Thank you very much.
What about students who are coming from outside the country for one reason or the other? They have to come and attend school down here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Ghana Education Service has a special examination that they write.
Oh, okay.
Called the foreign students examination. That is a special examination different from what the BEC is. There's after they write that, there's a portal that they will go on to also select their schools. When the selection is done, the schools will issue them a special letter.
Okay.
Ghana Education Service will issue them a special letter to be sent to the schools. So when you look at it, you realize that okay, you perform well, you deserve PSEC.
Okay.
Then a letter will be given to you to that effect, and you bring to
PSEC.
But that will be dependent on available
space
in PSEC. Yes. So we have some foreign students coming here and there every year. Yes. But then you have to go through the Ghana Education Service, go through the system.
And do they all go through? Is it for private individuals or for government workers, sort of? Okay. Sometimes some people go on missions and their time is due to come home, and their children must come and continue the education.
Okay, so it's open. What we mean by foreign students means you did not write the BEC.
BEC, okay.
Yes,
okay.
You did not write the BEC. Maybe you're in another country.
Yeah.
You wrote the is it A levels?
Over the.
I don't know the equivalent of BEC.
They write elementary. They call it elementary school education or something.
Yes, so you write that you can't enter our secondary schools with that.
Yeah, okay.
So you come to us and we will give you a special exam
to write.
It's very basic, just to know whether your cores are strong.
Okay.
When your cores, of course, when you pass the elementary, you're a good student, but we need to see whether your cores are strong. So once your core subjects are strong, then you get admission into our public senior high schools.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
That's very interesting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to us on Education Standpoint on Ɔdadeɛ Radio. And this afternoon, we have been talking about admissions. We want to take a little break, and when we come back, we'll look at more issues. We'll look more at Tvet into details, and we'll look at STEM, and we'll look at other areas that we haven't touched on yet. What we're talking about. Yeah, we'll be talking about admissions part 2 when we come back. Thank you very, very much.
Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Like us on Facebook at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. You can WhatsApp or call us on 0200 092925.
Agriculture plays a crucial role to our country's development with a huge contribution to Ghana's GDP whilst providing for our food needs at the same time.
They should know that agric is the backbone of every country. Honestly, you began by giving us the percentages, but it used to be 70% that agric contributes to the economy. It's because of certain lapses that has made a figure decline.
I don't know why they see farming as a bad occupation, because in other developed countries, they take agric very seriously and they make a lot of money out of farming. They use a lot of modern technology to improve their yield, but over here, we only see it as the use of certain man-made or small implements such as cutlass and hoe, which don't really do much. If you want to go into mass production, which will bring you a lot of money, you use a lot of modern technology that will help improve the yield.
Time to put the spotlight on agriculture value chain in Ghana on Agric Panorama on Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Agric Panorama is a radio program that is aimed at creating a unique platform for all farmers, traders, processors, transporters, wholesalers, and all other actors within the agric value chain. Agric experts, policymakers, students in agriculture, and other stakeholders as they participate in a panel discussion to unravel all that matters to improve agriculture and agribusiness sector, which is the backbone of Ghana's economy.
It's beneficial to the country in the sense that renowned companies in this country, the products these companies bring out are from agric, or the raw products are from agric, which has been processed into finished goods.
With agric, as I was coming, I wanted to do biology, but my grandfather was the person who told me that, why don't you try agriculture? Because I'm a farmer, and look at where I am. So you can also try agriculture, and then you can see how far you go.
Agric Panorama will be broadcast live from the studios of Ɔdadeɛ Radio online every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. You can listen and contribute to this program via the Zeno FM radio app or Ɔdadeɛ Radio app from the Google Play Store or App Store. Also watch it live on YouTube or Facebook at Ɔdadeɛ Radio or Ɔdadeɛ Radio Ghana. Ɔdadeɛ Radio, shine the light.
Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Like us on Facebook at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Ɔdadeɛ Radio. You can WhatsApp or call us on 0200 092925.
Did you know that 90% of people with autoimmune diseases will be misdiagnosed or spend years before a diagnosis is made? Precious time that could lead to organ damage. Autoimmune diseases occur when the immune system starts to attack healthy organs and cells in the body till they are destroyed. These conditions are more severe and are increasingly seen in people of African ancestry. The Rheumatology Initiative TRI is an NGO leading with education, advocacy, and research in autoimmune diseases. TRI ensures patients have the right peer support with a support group of over 200 people diagnosed with autoimmune conditions. The Rheumatology Initiative provides emergency medication for needy patients and teaches them life skills to ensure some financial stability. TRI reaches patients, health practitioners, and the general public through various educational interventions to enable prompt diagnosis and treatment for improved outcomes. How can you support our work at the Rheumatology Initiative? Please donate to our MTN Momo 024 192 9775. Account name is the Rheumatology Initiative. To volunteer, please send an email to volunteer@tryghana.org. That's TRIGhana.org. Visit our website tryghana.org to reach us, and on social media look for our handles at TryGhana.
What does the Bible say? And what sort of light does it throw on any life-related issue? John chapter 1 verse 5 states, "And the light shineth in darkness, and darkness comprehended it not." Light for Life is a Christian panel discussion program on all life-related issues and how the Bible helps us in its day-to-day application. Beloved, my name is Reverend Godwin Kwashi, and I invite you to join me and my guests on the Light for Life program on Ɔdadeɛ Radio Online this and every Sunday from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I trust that as we engage in this Light for Life program, we'll all be able to say to our God, "In thy light we shall see light." God richly bless you as you tune in.
I don't know what I would do without him. Whom shall I fear? Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race.
Ɔdadeɛ Health Matters is a radio program designed to address various health-related issues as we go through our daily lives. As the saying goes, do take care of your body. It is the only place you have to live. Join us and our team of Ɔdadeɛ medical professionals as we address various health matters that affect you and the people you care about. My name is Dr. Samuel Nyama. I will be your host on Ɔdadeɛ Health Matters, along with my co-host, Dr. Awuni, live on Ɔdadeɛ Radio Online, this and every Wednesday from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Do join us.
Stop existing and start living.
Yeah, welcome back from our break, and wherever you are who was listening to us, we say welcome back from break. We are also back, and to continue with our discussions. We've been talking about admissions all over the place, and we've been talking about admissions in general in Ghana. Among our students, we're trying to talk about issues that will help support the students who won't have to enter into their next stage of school life. We want the parents also who are listening to us to put down points and get ready to ask your questions and give us your comments as well. And don't forget, we are live on Ɔdadeɛ Radio on Facebook or Ɔdadeɛ Radio Ghana. You can also get us on Instagram at Ɔdadeɛ Radio or Twitter on Ɔdadeɛ Radio. Don't forget our WhatsApp number. It is 02000929925. 02000929925, and you can send in your questions or your comments. You can also send us a text on a studio phone numbered 0302-551-014. I repeat it, 0302-551-014. Wherever you are, it's best always to download the app from Google Play Store or from the App Store, and then you get in direct line with us. I just want to announce also again that our executive producers, Ɔdadeɛ Johnny Adofening, who is also known as Zonda, are supporting us and giving us the big support from the other side, as well as Edifico, Ɔdadeɛ Edifico, from behind the big river. Our technical producer is Joseph Otu, also known as DJ Use. And with us in the studio this afternoon, our very special resource persons, Ɔdadeɛ Eric Otu Amankwa of the SHS Secretariat of Ministry of Education, and Mr. Raymond Kofi Amankwa, also a teacher and a housemaster, down to earth student involvement in PRESEC. Yes, and we are continuing with our discussions. We've talked about various modes and the fact that we are now doing a lot of digital admission methods. So parents who were born before computer, we are advising you to get your hands to the job. Learn how to do it. Don't be afraid. The mouse on the computer doesn't bite. Get hold of it and make use of it, because that is where we are going. That's where we are with our children. However, we know that the children are more well-versed in these things than us. So let the children lead us, and we'll be talking about all these things. Now we want to get into more details about Tvet educational program. What is Tvet? Again, Mr. Amankwa from GES will help us.
Okay, so even before I talk about it, we are all well dressed. We are well dressed. We are sitting behind this beautifully crafted table. All these microphones in front of us have been set up properly, and that is down to persons who decided to pursue technical vocational educational training, which is Tvet. So clearly Tvet has enormous potential for moving the country's economy forward. Okay, so in 2020, a Pre-Tertiary Education Act was passed, which aligned all Tvets providing institutions under all the ministries, under what is called the Ghana Tvet service, which is under the Ministry of Education. And from 2022, that's from last year, all students who got into Tvet will now enjoy free Tvet. Just as we have free SHS, there's also now what we call free Tvet for all. Now I want to tell you about some of the programs that are being run in the Tvet institutions.
Good.
So we have engineering in the Tvet institutions, under which there are sub-programs, which are mechanical engineering technology, electrical engineering technology, electronic engineering, motor vehicle engineering. Then we have building, which is another program that is run. Under it, we have wood construction technology, architectural drafting, furniture design and construction, plumbing and gas fitting. Then we also have the business option as well in the Tvet institutions. The accounting option, the secretarial option is also available. Now we have developed what we call a framework that's any person interested in Tvet can right from the onset. There's an end in sight, just as we have for the grammar schools, where you know that when you start you can end at university.
Yes.
Over the years we didn't have that for the Tvet. But now we have developed what we call a national Tvet qualifications framework, which has been developed by the Commission for Tvet.
I see.
So so at each level, like we have the BEC and the SSC and the WASI and all the various certificate levels.
We have various stages.
Yes, we have the same thing for the Tvet. So you have the National Proficiency 1, Proficiency 2, Certificate 1, Certificate 2, and the HND. Then you now move to Bachelor of Technology, Master of Technology, and Doctor of Technology.
Oh, great.
So should you decide to be in Tvet, there's a clear pathway for you, just as there is for somebody who decides to be in the social sciences, somebody who decides to be in medicine. There's a clear pathway for you to become a doctor of technology. Back then we didn't have this framework there, and it was not established at all the levels. But with the introduction of the Tvet service, which primary mandate is to implement this, they are working in line with all these institutions at the various levels. So at the secondary school level, which I mentioned that right now we have 221. And we at the tertiary level, all the what we used to call the name's not coming to mind. I'll come back to it.
You pick it later.
I'll pick it later. But at the tertiary levels, we have specialized Tvet institutions. Yes.
Specialized
Tvet institutions. If you could help me, one of them is
the
technical universities. Yes, the technical universities. What we used to call poly.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are now doing biotechnology.
Yes, they are now doing biotechnology. So, sorry. Clearly, there's some level of commitment by the Ministry of Education to ensure that persons who are interested in technical vocational education have a clear pathway to the very end, and the implementation of this and the creation of an office to implement this, that the Ghana Tvet service, means that the ministry wants to churn out persons who can be readily employed by themselves. Because when you come out of maybe you go and learn cosmetology, when you come out, you have your own beauty bar. That has a barbering salon. You can get your nails. People are coming to get their nails fixed, and we may look down on that, but I'm sure just last week or 2 weeks ago, you went to the barber shop to go for a haircut. Yes. Now we want that person at the barber shop not to be looked down upon. We want the person to run it properly, like a proper job, a proper business. These are persons who are vital in our everyday lives, but over the years we've said Tvet is for non-performing students. No. We want to take that away. That is why we've recategorized Tvet into category A as well. So we have the likes of Cape Coast Technical, category A school. Swansea Technical, category A school. Koforia Technical, category A school. Okara Technical, category A schools. Just to put them on the level that they deserve to be in. Because when you look at the products from that school, some of them are engineers, some of them are engineers, civil engineers, mechanical engineers, and this is because they decided to do what they enjoy.
That's right.
So I want to entreat parents to relegate to the back of their minds the notion that Tvet is for non-performing students. It is not true, because somebody who is able to craft a table that you sit behind, and a chair that you sit on for 10, 20, 30 years, the chair does not cave in, it does not break. You think if he's not smart, he'll be able to do that? Yeah, so I think it's about time we relegate that into the background. We should encourage our wards to go in for technical and vocational education.
That's right.
Training.
Very, very important.
Thank you.
Very, very, very important. So, what about last year was when we started pushing it very hard. What are the admissions like, the intake?
Okay, all right. So for now, for first years, the enrollment for Tvet stands around 47,000. Please give me a minute. Let me refer to my data. 47,319.
Oh, okay.
For enrollment into 181 schools.
That's interesting.
Yes, that's interesting. So if we do a quick math, that will mean, please let me do a quick math.
Okay.
Average enrollments per school.
Yeah,
we stand about per school about 260 students per school.
Oh, that's a big number to start with.
Yes. Number to start with. And this year the schools have become 221. We've increased them to 221. So we are expecting higher enrollment.
Okay. I see. Interesting. So it seems like now people are beginning to understand that the area of development and the need for us to use our hands to do what we have to do. Yeah, so it's very, very important. Some of us, we do some of these things ourselves because we don't want to go to the public places. You're asking whether it's possible that last week I went to the haircut man in the barber's shop. Yeah, I've always been doing it myself.
They miss you a Tvet man yourself.
I'm a Tvet man, yes. If I consider myself a Tvet man, yes. Yes. And that is why I always encourage us to talk about Tvet and get the people to understand. When we have the understanding, I think that the problem will be solved. Because there are people who are using Conco to produce articulator tracks and pulling them with strings on the road. When we encourage said boys, one day they will get into small factories and then start producing big things for us. Yes. Uncle Ray, I'm sure you have something to add to this one too. Yes.
To add to this, I'm happy with all that he has shared with us, but I want to inform our viewers that if you get 8 F9s, you can still become someone by going to a polytechnic. Polytechnics take 8 F9s.
You mean 8
F9s? If you get F9, 8 in all your subjects.
We will not encourage that.
I'm coming. let me learn. So they do. You can go and start with DBS.
Take it easy kind of students will be happy.
Yeah, it's a program that they've actually put in place to help such students.
Okay.
Yeah, to maybe after they finish their courses, they can take part in hospitality management. They can do this engineering. They can take part in building technology and others. So you will start with pre-HND.
Okay, pre-HND.
Yes, so it's a 1-year program. When you are done, you write an exam. So when you pass, you continue to do your HND.
So who is organizing this kind of exam and where do they get registered to write?
All the polytechnics have been doing.
Oh, the polytechnics.
Yes.
Okay.
The technical universities.
Okay, I was going to say that. Now they have all been converted into technical universities. So they do those things.
The DBS. So they call it a diploma in basic studies, business studies.
How are they admitted? By what qualification?
Thank you. You buy a voucher, either from the bank or maybe Momo.
Okay.
Then you apply online. Okay. After your application, you upload your certificate or your resource slip.
Okay.
Then, when you satisfy all the needs that is required, you'll be issued an admission letter, and you start the program. And it's one of the best programs that I may say. People that have lost hope, thinking that they cannot make it in life again because they've gotten F9 in core mathematics and English language. But the technical universities they are there for you.
You don't need mathematics or English to be able to apply borax on wood in the carpenter shop. Okay.
So it's very good. Now, to be employed to get employment is very difficult.
Yes, it's very difficult.
So
yes.
I have always been encouraging the student to encourage parents that we should allow our wards to take part in these Tvet programs. When they are done, they will get their own work to do.
Yes.
They can set up their own business, get enough money. My Pastor Benjamin Teji from Church of Christ will tell you, once you can solve human beings' problem, you get money. So you can tell many human being problem that you can solve. Once you are able to solve it, you get income by creating something. So if people will encourage their wards to go into this Tvet program, I think the unemployment rate will definitely reduce to some point.
Definitely, yes. And this brings me to the question about overview of admissions into the Tvet educational program. We're talking about, do you consider areas such as gender, age, and regions and things like that?
Okay, so for Tvet, earlier when I was mentioning that we have to make select 6 choices.
Okay.
Only 1 from category A, only 2 from category B, but you can select all from category C. Right now, because we want to boost Tvet education, should you want Tvet, you can select first to sit all Tvet schools.
Oh, okay.
First to sit choice, or missed out on Aswansi Technical.
Okay.
And the person we put in a grammar school.
Yeah.
The person will now come back to us at the secretariat and say, can you change it for us to a technical school? So we are saying that right now, if you are interested in Tvet, which we encourage you to be interested in, you can select from the first to the sixth choice, all Tvet. First to sixth choice, all Tvet. So the restrictions about the compulsory day, the restrictions of all of those things don't apply to you. You can select first to sixth,
same direction,
all Tvet. That's just a way of boosting the admissions into Tvet.
Okay.
And everything is based on choice. We don't discriminate. It can be we have Tvets. We have I don't have the data here, but then we have female enrollment in Tvet schools. We have male enrollment in Tvet schools. Most of them are mixed schools, and except St. Paul's Technical, which is in
Kukantumi, okay.
Yes, that one is a boys' school.
And traditionally, just like Presec.
Just like Presec, exactly. It's a traditional boys' school. But we allow students to select. So we encourage both females and males, boys and girls, to select these Tvet schools, because if you're a woman, you can come out as a cosmetologist, you can come out as a fashion designer, you can even come out as an engineer. We don't want to say engineering is just for boys.
No. Yes. It's for everybody.
We have men who are also good fashion designers.
Exactly.
Yeah, he also comes across. What I'm wearing was designed by a man.
Okay.
Another day,
I see.
Another day, actually.
So that's great.
Yes. But he is not into fashion.
That's right. He set up a fashion department.
He has a shop on the side. And that's what is feeding him.
Hands. Yes, that's very important.
He was interested. That's what is feeding him more than his 9 to 5.
That's interesting.
Yes, that's what's feeding more than his 9 to 5. So that's enough evidence to show that Tvets
is very important.
Actually put food on your table. Not really put food on your table. Yes.
Yeah.
One parent to tell you, have I ever seen engineers going on strike before?
Yeah, that's because they came through their own Tvet lines.
Yes.
And that's true. That's very, very true.
They always find a way of feeding themselves.
That's interesting. And what about now that we are having Tvet educational ladder that takes you to the top? Would there not be the temptation of somebody going for the certificates and then coming back with an application letter to the government offices and say that we've been talking about Tvet, I've been through the system, now I have a doctorate degree, I need employment?
Okay, so I know when you do your PhD, means you are branching into academia. So the option for you would now become a lecturer at the technical universities. So the reason that pathway was created was we envisaged that at the end of the day we'll need hands-on persons, more skilled persons lecturing this specific. Because when you go to the technical universities, there are some lecturers that come from tech, engineering departments. Yes, who come in there to come and lecture. But it would be nice to have someone who has gone through the system, experienced it himself. Himself, maybe in school, he built a wall.
That's
You
right.
understand how he builds that wall, hands-on. He gets to the university, he did the projects hands-on. When he now becomes a lecturer, he will relate more to the challenges the students may face, and will be able to properly address those challenges. So this pathway was created with that in mind. That at the end of the day, we need well-resourced persons teaching these TVET programs.
I mean, they have more experience.
More hands-on.
Okay,
Because
more
TVET is more hands-on. More
It's a
hands-on than
hands-on
theory.
kind of thing,
More hands-on than theory.
That's interesting. I see. Okay, so as we talk about TVET, I think we can also get into the STEM system too.
Yes.
Yeah, what about the STEM?
Okay, all right. So
STEM. STEM.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you may ask, what is STEM?
Yeah. So what is STEM?
Yes, STEM is the abbreviation for science, technology, engineering, mathematics.
Okay.
What someone asked, how different is that from TVET?
Okay.
STEM is more. TVET is also science, but STEM is more of technology based. How to use tech to solve real life issues.
Okay.
So the whole idea is that the Ministry of Education, through the Minister of Education and through the President, has decided that we need to create individuals who will solve our issues. We don't need to always go and rely on what the white man is telling us. We can do that here as well. So by doing that, one of the steps is building STEM schools.
Okay.
And allowing students from the JHS level right straight into those STEM schools, creating the environments right from the senior high school level, so that they are well versed in what it is they are to do before they progress. So right now we have 5 STEM schools. There's Bosomtri Girls STEM School. There's Abomosu, I think an assistant headmaster left.
Yes, he was taken away from us painfully.
Yes. To go and inculcate best practices.
That's true, yes.
In
Okay.
Presec, in Abomosu
okay.
Senior High.
Okay.
We have Awasu Senior High. About 35 STEM schools are under various stages of completion. But right now 5 of them are ready, and the 5 can be selected this year.
Okay, so we can take in students this year. Okay, in those 5 schools.
Yes, the school, when the parents go to their schools to select, in the school register, I think in Appendix I, the STEM schools have been listed there. 5 STEM schools have been listed there. The programs the schools offer aerospace engineering, robotics. They also offer some other engineering courses as well. And the FHS Secretariat has also, we are not waiting for the STEM, because there's a STEM policy that is being prepared, and it will be launched properly like the way the TVET has been done. But we don't want to wait. So the FHS Secretariat has begun a contest, a STEM contest called STEM Novation. I don't know whether you've come across.
Yeah, very.
Yes,
I see.
It's we are in the first year of it. So, with every new thing, it doesn't get the publicity it's supposed to get. But as I speak to you right now, Presec is in the semi-finals.
Wow.
Under the coding category.
Category, okay.
Yes, there's I think their project is called Wasiversary. It's a software concerning WASI to check your grade, something of that sort.
Oh, okay.
Yes. As I speak to you, the contest is ongoing right now.
Interesting.
Yes, STEM innovation. So innovating.
So it means that the current senior high schools and then the other people who are interested in STEM are involved
in
this
the
kind
competition
of program.
Yes.
Okay.
So the whole idea was, the contest was to innovate with STEM. What we mean that identifying issues in your community and developing programs, and there are various categories. You have solar category, we have waste recyclable waste category, we have the coding category. It will amaze you what these children are doing at their level. Presec is in about 2 or 3 categories. They had a solar dryer.
Okay.
And you use the dryer to dry your maize, you dry your fish, and it is covered.
Oh, okay.
So I'm sure like you're wondering, solar dryer, we already dry under the sun.
Under the sun.
Yes. But there are projects such that the speed at which I don't even understand how they manage to do that. The speed at which the item is dried.
Okay.
It's amazing because the solar panels are able to store energy.
That's right.
So even when it's in the evening, there's still some power in there.
That's right.
So it will still be drying. And it was amazing. It's
interesting.
And of course, I'm on Ɔdadeɛ, so I try to step back. Otherwise, they tell me conflict of interest.
That's true.
So I try to step back. But what they are doing is amazing. So today they are competing against Wakesi girls and another school like that. Yes. So we the ministry are interested in STEM, and these are some of the steps you are taking in pushing the STEM.
I see. Very, very useful information, yes, and very useful activity going on down there. Yeah, and we in Presec came through the grammar system, and a very small percentage of us came through the vocational. Yeah, will you want to give a drive or recommend some of these things to some of our people who are listening to us? Yeah.
Okay, so if you look at countries that have developed, like Germany, they develop through industrialization.
Exactly.
And what this means is that they develop through factories, building factories that provided what they needed to develop in the country by themselves. And that's what Tvet does. That's what STEM will do. You understand? That's what Tvet, that's what STEM will do. So the whole idea is that we want to, because we have seen what we've done over the years with our system, with the grammar system, and we've seen the level of development it has gotten us to. We want to now do I think it's called the 5th Industrial Revolution.
Yes.
And it's one of STEM, and it's one of Tvet.
Okay.
Yes. And that's not to say that the other courses are not important.
No.
What we are saying is that even in studying the other courses, STEM can make studying those courses easier.
Exactly.
Like we are talking about how admissions are done online. That is still a social something.
That's right.
But if the STEM guys didn't think about this in some country to develop the internet,
software
and the work, we will not be able to do what we are doing.
It's true.
So we just want to be able to make life easier for us. So that's why we are encouraging parents to opt for Tvet, opt for STEM, and so that we can move ourselves from being dependent on the traditional way of doing things to now the high tech way of doing things,
into the high tech area.
Yes.
Yeah. Any comment, Mr. Raymond?
What I want to ask my brother is based on this STEM issue that he's talking about, are we saying for some time to come we'll be able to produce our own toothpick, produce our own some of the things that we have been importing? People will tell you Ghana we import even pencil, erasers here and there. So with these innovations, are we saying some time to come, some years to come, Ghana will be able to produce its own things that it needs?
Okay, yeah. So even I don't think you even need STEM for toothpick. We can. I don't even know why that toothpick is being imported. Pencils are being imported, but then that also comes down to the industrialization I'm talking about, and that's what STEM will do. That's what Tvet will do, giving us resource personnel who can man those factories, who can work in those factories, so that our dependence on importation of toothpicks, pencils, it's
crayons,
matchboxes. These are very basic things that we should be doing ourselves. And if we are doing that, our dollar will not be suffering.
It's not be suffering
like that. Like it is.
I will always blame our politicians. I know that we used to have a match factory in Ghana. Yes,
okay.
And we had factories that were producing toothpicks for us.
Oh yes.
We had factories that were producing all kinds of things that we were using locally. I don't know how come suddenly I haven't seen any policy about a change.
I think I know what happened.
But you know what happened? Yes, suddenly these things were changed along the line, and then we begin to import everything. Oh my. I'm praying that we will not get to the point where we're going to import sachet water.
Amen.
Even though I know that some kind of water is imported already.
Yes.
Yeah, but we should stop there.
Exactly.
Yes, we should stop there. We should stop there. We should stop there. Oh, I have always been teasing my friends in Nigeria why they have all the rivers in the land and yet they suffer from electricity power. And sometimes they tell me that it is the politicians. They are importing generators, and they want to make sure that the generators never get short of use, and that is why they are never their electricity power station has been now termed never have power anytime, NEPA. Well, this is only a joke. But I think that it's high time we solve that problem. Not only in Ghana, but also in Nigeria, because I feel for them so much. Yes, I feel for them so much. The other day, a Nigerian friend came around and then climbing the Blue Mountains, he turned his back and looked at Accra and light everywhere. He said, did you say we are in Ghana or where are we? And I said, yes, we are in Ghana. All those lights are lights that are in Accra. And he said, they don't have that kind of thing in Nigeria. And we shouldn't drive our country into those places. So as we encourage our parents and push our students to move forward into the STEM and the Tvet areas, we should do it with love. We should do it with a certain drive that will make our children become our own producers of the needs that we have. And that is what we need to do. So STEM must not be a 9-day wonder. Ghana Education, our Ministry of Education, STEM must not be a 9-day wonder. Tvet projection should not be a 9-day wonder. We should have it done. Yes, of course, we need administrators who will come from the other side. But the hands that are skillful must be allowed to work so that we get into what we have to get into properly and without any kind of failure. We should produce our own for our own people so that we get what we need anytime we want it. Yes. Let me ask this question about accreditation. What are the methods of accreditation? Because I got to know recently from social media and from the news around that certain institutions, students passed through up to a certain point and they told them that their certificates were not valid and all that. What happened to accreditation and why is it that it becomes difficult for especially tertiary institutions to have easy access to accreditation so that more of the students who also decide to go to those places must also have their ends getting met? I don't know which of you want to take this one.
When it comes to tertiary issues, I'm not too...
Okay, yes.
So with accreditation, I think
you have been talking to them a lot. So
quite recently, I read from the news about Auditor's General Report that some of the schools are not running correct programs and students complete and they don't get work to do, their certificates are being rejected. I think the universities also wrote back to them with some form of information to confirm that yes, they have the power or they have been given the certificate to run those courses. So with accreditation, well, this one I'll leave it for the universities, PROs, and the human resource personnel to actually talk about it.
Yeah, because it's a very, very touchy area.
Yeah.
Some of the universities were not happy about the reports that came in. So, personally, I would like to sit on the fence with this particular.
I see, it's very important. Yeah, one of big time Ɔdadeɛs have sent a message, and I want to read it. Why can't you delegate the admission authority to the headmasters and their staff with all the confusion going on? I think that this person is referring to the general methods of placement. And the GES, let me take that one again. Why can't you delegate the admission authority to the headmasters and their staff with all the confusion going on? The second part says the GES has set a quota for students with average grades. So, for example, a school like PESEC will be required to admit 5% of students with average grades. The current system creates a lot of confusion, and middlemen end up cashing in big time. What do you have to say about this one?
Okay, so the first question, talking about delegation of the admission process.
Yeah.
I know that the CSSPS came into being in 2004.
Okay.
I think
Yes.
2004.
2004.
And all it did was to automate the admission process.
Okay. Yes.
The heads of schools are very much still involved in the admission process. What they
Okay.
do for us is that for every year they let us know the vacancies available, and that vacancy is broken down into programs and day or boarding. So the heads of schools are still very much in control of placement. What we do is just provide the portal.
Okay.
And what the secretariat is also involved is knowing the numbers, since we are to ensure that the students get their get what's due them in terms of uniform and food to eat and the numbers in question. All we need to know is the numbers that are coming in. But in terms of management of the schools, the heads of schools still do manage the schools, because they will tell us that I can take 10 students. If you give him 30, he will not be able to take 30. So they are still very much involved. The only role we play here is creating the platform, the online portal, looking at the numbers that are coming in and the speed at which we want to know how many students are in each school. That's why we have come in to put a system in place where so right now there's no manual enrollment anymore.
Okay, there's no manual enrollment.
Yeah, this is because in real time we want to know how many students you have in the school at every point in time, so that the disbursement of funds can be prompt and can be done timeously.
Okay.
So they are still very much involved.
Interesting.
Yes, they're still very much involved. Now the second question.
Yeah. GES just has to set a quota for students with average grades. So, for example, a school like PESEC will be required to admit 5% of students with average grades.
Okay. So let me try and address this so that we clear any misconceptions or doubts in the system. So placement is based on merit, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
So for example, PESEC, and it's based on vacancy declared. So PESEC says I have 1,000 students. Now spaces, 1,000 spaces. A vacancy of 1,000. I have 1,000 spaces. Now what we do at the secretariat, what the placement portal will be to place 1,000 students into PESEC. However, out of that 1,000, we have reserved 30% out of that 1,000. That will be 300 spaces.
300 spaces
for students who attended public GHS schools.
Okay. And that will be usually those who went to the school within the vicinity. Normally.
Exactly. So PESEC primary school, PESEC basic.
Okay.
Yes, for example. Sorry. So over the years, even our data has shown that this 30% reserved for these students who come in with not the best grades, not terrible grades, but not the best grades as compared to private schools. There's data to show that they go on to university and perform very well.
Okay.
There's this story of this St. Lucy's girl who is from a public school. She's not doing medicine.
Okay.
She came in with 26 or so.
Wow.
There are other students like that. I don't have the data ready.
Okay.
But then we have seen that this is actually helping. However, we realize that some parents, like I said, try to beat the system. So it is defeating the purpose. And that will be kept. So I understand what he means by not the best grades coming in, but it's because of the trying to level the playground for everybody.
To
yes.
get a part.
Yes, I know somebody will say that's a lazy man's approach. Why don't you buff up the capabilities and the capacity of the public schools? Yes, we are using the leapfrog approach as we are trying to work on that. In the meantime, those who they should also get somewhere to go. We will not say that we'll wait till we raise the standards. So I'm sure you are aware of the national standard test, the NST.
Yes.
You go to the basic schools, they write the exams. So we will see when you have a challenge, maybe a child has a challenge in maybe math. Intervention starts from the basic school before you get to secondary school. So that we don't wait till BEC to see that you are not good in math, or you are not good in English, or you are not good in the core subjects, and as a result you can't get into secondary school. So that's the two-pronged approach I'm using. In the meantime, we want to leapfrog, but at the same time we are using the national we are putting measures to have a continuous assessment of the students, and provide intervention where needed, so that by the time they get to the secondary school level they are well versed and they can compete with the private school students. But these things take time.
Yeah, they take time.
These things take time. You know, educational policies, you don't see the benefits now.
Yeah, it's true.
After some 20, 30 years
before you see where it goes.
Yes. So that's my
take on that one.
My weak attempt at answering that.
Okay. Yeah, me say I'm sure you have got your answer. Yes, wherever you were. Yeah, Raymond.
Yeah, to add to what my colleague have just given, I will say that the free SHS need to do more education. Most of the parents and the students, even after choosing the schools, they really don't understand what it means for them, because somebody will choose 5 or 6 schools. Then the person will now decide that no pre-sec, no school. It means even if he gets a place at one of the classes like Achimota, so the child will say, I will not go to
we call it pre-sec or suicide.
So there should be a lot of engagement after choosing the schools, so that the parent and the student will then understand that the schools that I've chosen, at least my result will send me to one of the schools. Once they get that, the issue of going to the ministry, going to mass up over there that my child has done this, has not gotten admission, I think will reduce a lot. So the free SHS, they need to do more education. Now the students, I think they've chosen the school, so they are still choosing.
Yeah, they are still choosing, and they are aware of the cluster option. And this year, the sensitization was done in a different manner. Over the years, we used to do training of trainers. So we'll train the district officers. Then they will now go and train but this year we engage the circuit supervisors directly. What we call the CISOs. Now we've rebranded them. They are no longer called circuit supervisors. They are called school improvement school improvement officers. So they are supposed to improve schools in their circuit. So what this means is that what they did this year is that they went directly to the parents and the teachers. They zoned the schools in their cluster, in their circuit, into various clusters, and addressed them properly. Personally, I was in the fire armor circuit. That's Medina, around Hannah School Complex.
Yes, I know the place.
I went to the 5th Baptist Circuit as
well. There are 3 schools in that compound. And then you went to Faith Community, which is also a private school.
It's a private school, so all private schools came in there. With the parent, it was a big hall. The students were there. It was good. I went to Alobushi. 1 and 2 in there. Wakankwe North.
Ayalolo schools, and
yes. So
Amamo and others.
Exactly. Then we did Adan. So I went to various circuits just to supervise what was being done, and you could tell that the information was directly to the parents and to the students. So we envisage that this year the numbers that will come to the resolution center should reduce.
That's right.
However, we can only tell when the placement comes out, whether what we had in plan
Has been
has been
gone
properly
down.
yes. So we are hoping, but we are hopeful from the response we are having now.
Yeah.
We hope that will be done properly. But then during the sensitization, we ensured we hit it on the head that when you opt for cluster, any of the schools you can get.
Okay.
If you want PRESEC or suicide, don't opt for cluster. Opt for PRESEC. So you choose no. I don't want a cluster. I want to compete in PRESEC and PRESEC only. Should I miss out, move me to my second choice, or I'm confident I'll not miss out. So let me compete in PRESEC only. So that one you opt for the no option. In the cluster.
The when we say PRESEC or suicide, we're talking about the fact that first choice PRESEC, second choice PRESEC, third choice PRESEC, sixth choice PRESEC, all through. We used to have a lot of them. In fact, we coined that name from the cards that we used to have. Yeah, choose 3 schools, and you find somebody choosing PRESEC science, PRESEC science, PRESEC science. So if you miss it, it means you won't get a school. That's how we coined the PRESEC or suicide situation. Yes, it's not the best. I think you make yourself open a little so we can help you. Because we got to a point where we were writing notes, and the headmaster would write a note to another school where, oh, this boy wanted to be in PRESEC. He's done so well, but he couldn't fit in a number, just a number. So go to this school. And then when we changed over to the SS system, some of the big schools came down because they couldn't have people within their areas choosing their schools. Yes, exactly. I remember Wesley Girls came down a little, and it affected Pope John's. It affected the Pope John's. The Catholics were going there, but it affected St. Peter's, Nkwetia. Yeah. So at a point, it's like, okay, all those who chose PRESEC that we couldn't give space to, why don't we advise the parents to take them to Nkwetia, and then we'll make contact with Nkwetia, and they made arrangement for them to be taken. Yes, it was one of such boys who went there and gave us a yellow card during the science quiz program. Yes, I remember that small tiny boy who went to St. Peter's. He chose PRESEC and he didn't get it. So we advised the parents with a note to go to Nkwetia St. Peter's, and he became a shining star. Big time shining star. I think that was the year they picked the award. Yes, the winner's shield.
Okay.
Yes, and we've seen a lot of settings. So I have personally engaged parents who wanted PRESEC or nowhere, and talked to the boys, counseled them, and then advised them to go to other places. So they got to other places and they became shining stars over there. Yes, and they have been very grateful. It's helpful when we open ourselves during the making of choices, and we don't make the people who are sitting up there at the office feel guilty that they didn't give you what you want. Let's make ourselves open, because if A doesn't work, plan B will work. Yes, and every school is helpful. Every school is helpful. I say every school is helpful from my practical experience. Yes, I remember one day we had a serious problem in PRESEC. This is off record, gunshot problem, which never got out there into the news because I had to seal it up in those days when I was working here. Yeah, and the doctor who handled the boy came from Boa Ponsem, and I was very proud. As soon as we got there and we talked about address, he said PRESEC Legon. He said, oh, PRESEC Legon. Yeah, I got a lot of inspiration from your students who I met in the medical school. But I'm from Boa Ponsem, and I said, I'm happy that you got the influence. So we know that this one is going to work. And he helped the boy out of his medical predicament. So he came back to school, healed. Yes. And it was good for me, because I believe that wherever we go to, parents, wherever we send our children to, they will shine. Especially where you realize that they are able to use their hands in one or two other ways. Allow them to go to the places where they can use their hands to do their whatever they have to do, and in future they will get what they have to get. It's very helpful to go to Tvet schools. It's very helpful to go to the STEM schools. It's very helpful to go to all other schools that are available in the country. And so we encourage parents. I don't know if you have word for parents too, as I have just done. Yes, to wind up what we have so far.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have some tips
Okay.
that I would quickly touch on. This goes to parents and to candidates. So parents, please be involved in the selection process.
They should be involved
in the selection process.
Good.
Because at the end of the day, you will do the visiting, not the teacher in your school.
It's true. It's true.
Yes, and also assess your ward's academic performance before you make the choice. Because we want to reduce the number of students who will not get what they want. So when you assess it properly, you know that my child can get into PSEC. I envisage this year the number of students selecting PSEC going high. Off the back of we winning the seventh trophy.
The seventh trophy.
Because when 6 came home, selection went up.
Yes, choice for PSEC went up. Yes, and it's going to go up again.
Yes, it's going to go up.
And worse trouble for us
is
when we went to the law court and took the medals over there. Yes, over there too.
Over there too. And we are everywhere. We went to take at the cyber security as well.
Yes, cyber security too.
And hopefully we'll take for STEM innovation.
That's
as well.
true.
You know, so all of this plays into the choices the students will make. But then it's also imperative on parents to assess their wards before, because the competition in PSEC is always going to be keen, very tough competition. So the parents should also ensure that they assess their wards and don't leave everything to the teacher to handle for you. Yes, so that's just what I have to say.
Thank you very, very much. Mr. Amankwa, Mr. Raymond Amankwa this time.
Thank you. I will talk about the tertiary institutions. The students are still filling their forms. Parents need to get themselves involved. Some of the parents, they don't care about anything. They will wait until the result comes and the university starts giving admission letters, and the awards are not admitted. It's then that they will rush to the school's admission office to go and complain. And when you go there nobody will help you because they've given you some warning signs as you fill the form.
Okay.
Especially your WASI name arrangement should be same as the one you used on the application.
Okay.
Because of impersonation.
Yes.
So if you make any mistake, you may be denied. You shall be denied an admission.
Okay.
Then I've already talked about the index number. Any error you commit
goes
against you. Then the SHS electives should be in line with the university programs that you have chosen. For instance, visual art student qualifies to do law at Legon.
Yes.
You can also do business admin. But for tech, you don't qualify.
You don't go.
So the parents should sit down with their wards, look at the programs that they want to offer, whether they qualify or not. If they don't do that, you will pass all right.
But
the university
you go.
You will not get an admission.
So you get pass no way.
Pass no way. You still have to sit at home until
another year.
Next year. Something that can be done quickly. And more importantly, when the result is released, the universities are going to give an ultimatum. Last year, UG gave only 3 days for the student to go and change their programs.
Oh, okay. Those who wanted to change programs.
Those who wanted to change programs. You have seen your result. And you know what you have gotten.
Okay.
So maybe you chose medicine, which is supposed to be 8 A's.
And you didn't get it, or
you didn't get 8 A's. Maybe you had 6 A's. So we will have to change it to maybe biomedical engineering.
Okay.
That will qualify you, or maybe physiotherapy.
All right.
That you can also pursue. So parents should not wait. The moment you wait, as I said, you qualify.
That's right.
But you were not lucky. They'll tell you qualify, but you were not lucky. That is why you were not given an admission. So parents should continue checking. They should get themselves involved in everything that they do. Other than that, when the time comes, the universities will not help you.
That's true.
Thank you.
That's true. Thank you very, very much. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings us to the end of our day's discussion on the admissions and placement of students into senior high technical vocational schools, talking about Tvet and the normal grammar secondary school, and then also STEM. Also, we've just had a lot of discussion on tertiary admissions and how to get into those places. And this afternoon, I'm very happy to have had our resource persons, Ɔdadeɛ Eric Otu Amankwa of SHS Secretariat of Ministry of Education being here with us, and then also Mr. Raymond Kofi Amankwa, an active teacher and a housemaster in PESEC, who has been personally involved in helping students in choosing and getting advice in their tertiary education movement. Thank you very, very much. Until next week, when we meet again, this is Reverend Emmanuel Ambrose Asamoah saying goodbye and have a good week, have a blessed week. And don't forget to say congratulations again to our science and maths team members and to all who supported in one way or the other. God bless you, and God bless you, and God bless you. Have a good week. Thank you very much.